So today we're going to be talking about what is a flip, and as a lender, you know, what I look for, well really it's more like if I was buying it, what I would look for. So let's talk about what a flip is. So a flip is when someone buys a house and then they update it and they resell it for a higher price. Now, there are very different degrees of flips. Sometimes there's flips that are amazing. You know, they'll buy the place for like $100K, they'll put in $200, they'll sell it for $450, right? You know, they've done new foundation, they've done new plumbing, like it's a new house practically, right? So sometimes there's some really amazing flips. But what we see more often than not are flips where they look really nice, but upon closer inspection, things don't quite add up. So this is what I would call what happens when you watch too much HGTV and there's too many YouTube channels telling people, hey, if you buy my course on flipping, I'll make you rich too. So what we'll see some houses where really they were done poorly. So we're going to talk about that. Now, first of all, VA and conventional do not have flip rules. What that means is the seller does not have to own the house for a specific amount of time before you can buy it. FHA does, okay? So if you guys are doing an FHA loan and you're looking at buying a house that looks like it might have been a flip, you want to talk to your lender. We're going to be trying to pull the exact date that they bought it and the date that they listed it and the date that you're trying to get into contract, because it's very specific. So I don't want to spend all my time on that, but FHA buyers, you need to work with a lender that knows about flip rules. Everyone else, they could buy it on Tuesday and sell it to you the next week. Now, if I'm walking through a flip as a buyer, there's going to be a couple things I'm really going to pay attention to. So what's more common than not is the white spray paint addition, right? Where basically what they do is they just spray the entire house white. Everything looks better white. You know, you'll see it on the exterior, you'll see it on the interior, you'll see it on the cabinets. But what you want to do is you don't want to just walk in as the buyer and go, oh, right? Because that's how it makes you feel. It makes you feel like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And then like a smart flipper will have a stager. Always will have a stager. You know, the stager's job is to take the house and make it look perfect to live in. It's amazing when you take some Pottery Barn furniture and some white walls, all the stuff people will ignore. But you're watching this, so you're not a normal buyer, you're a detective buyer, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna look for stuff that doesn't quite add up. Okay, a great example is kitchens. Kitchens, sometimes they'll put in new cabinets and the cabinets won't open. The drawers won't open. You know, I was watching a video recently where the way the gas line was set up for the stove, if you opened and closed the pot drawer more than twice, it was gonna knock that gas line out. Oh my God, oh my God. And look, this is something that would normally come up in a home inspection. So if you guys got into contract on the house, always make sure you get a home inspection. But sometimes people go, oh, they just did everything, it's perfect, I'm sure. Do not trust anybody. Do not trust anybody, because here's the thing. The owner, the person, the keen flipper, right? They may be the most honest, ethical person in the world, but they may have a crap contractor that's just doing stuff really shady. So always get that home inspection, okay? But yeah, like there's simple things, like you want to look at the trim around the flooring. You want to kind of try to figure out, okay, what did they decide it was too expensive to fix? Because that's what my big costs are going to be when I buy this house. I was looking at one with a client recently, and they had put in some flooring, they had done white walls, they had sprayed everything else white. The windows were original, the roof was original and needed work. You know, they were trying to make 40, 50K, which isn't that huge on a flip, you know, after commissions, but 40 to 50K. But the home buyer was going to have to put in so much work because of the condition of the roof, because of the age of the windows, because of the stuff the flipper hadn't done. So a lot of times when you're going through a flip, if you pay attention to what they didn't do, those are red flags for you to know, okay, these are the things that are going to cost me a lot of money to fix. So if you're concerned about, you know, how much it will cost you over the next 10 years or how much money you're going to need to put in the house, I would use those red flags and get quotes for those if you're serious about the house. You know, if you're in contract, you know, really figure out that roof. What everybody's hoping for with a flip is you're just going to walk in with like blinders to anything that could be wrong and go, pretty, 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 yes. Okay? Because we all do that. I do it too. I've walked into houses before and I'm like, there is a stager. where I live, she's actually an interior designer. Her name's Martha Sherritt. Man, she could put furniture in a train wreck and I would want to buy it. You would want to buy it. The way that she designs stuff, it is magical. It makes you want to sit down. And that's what you guys have to understand. When you're coming up and you're looking at a flipper's house and they've got it staged, you could be coming up against a magician whose job is to make it so that you focus on the feeling and wanting to be there and not the reality. So I was talking to a client recently and he told me a great trick. So he was looking at a flip and his realtor actually pulled a marble out of his pocket. I know. Who carries a marble in their pocket? I do now. Anyways, so he took the marble and he put it on the floor and they watched it roll. And the realtor's like, yep, that's what I thought. And the buyer's like, okay, like what? Like there's a little slant to the floor, who cares? The realtor goes, let's go. And he walks around to the back of the house towards where the marble went, and they saw all this damage, you know, that you wouldn't have been brought to, but the marble brought them there. And it was like cracked bricks, foundation issues. It was a nightmare. Marble. So you guys really want to make sure that you don't get sucked up into the beauty of the, you know, newness. Like I've seen flips, guys, where you can't even turn on the water because they haven't connected the pipes. Yeah. Flips are meant to be done quick and cheap. So quick and cheap can look great, but is quick and cheap what you want to be in for the next 5, 10, 15 years? And I don't want to slam all flippers because there's some that do beautiful, amazing job, but there's a lot of hacks out there right now. And I'm thinking of Florida, just because Florida, like, we have seen some of the craziest flips where we're like, okay, they bought it for, you know, $400,000 a month ago, and they're trying to get $7,000 and they painted it. Okay, like, alrighty, you know, so you guys really want to look for that stuff. And if you're like, Jen, how can I find out what the seller bought the house for? Zillow has good data. They really do. And like, look, I know everybody hates Zillow for so many reasons. Like, I get it. But I like the data and it shows a price tax history. Now, someone was telling me that realtor.com has something similar. I don't like their website as much, so I don't go there. Also, realtor.com's not actually owned by realtors. Fun fact. But anyways, yeah, so go to a site where you can see what they bought the house for, and then what you want to do is you want to walk through that house and go, okay, did they actually spend money on this house? Now, should what they spent be what they bought it for, plus what they spent, plus what you're buying it for? No. I mean, look, there's going to be they need to make a profit. That's fair. They need to make a profit. They've got to pay both sides of the realtors, so that has to be margined in there. But if they're trying to get $200K more and they put $100 into it, like, it's a hard no. So open cabinets, you know, open those bathroom cabinets, turn on the faucets. Like, don't get sucked into the staging and the lightness and, oh, it's so bright and pretty. Go through the house and look at what they didn't fix. And look at the stuff they did fix. Did they fix it fast and cheap and easy, or was it fixed with skill and care? So I hope this video has been helpful. We actually help finance a ton of flips, not for flippers, but, you know, people buying flips, because there are some good ones out there. And I just want to say one more time, VA and conventional do not have flip restrictions. So someone could buy it, fix it up a week later and sell it, no problem. FHA does. So make sure you talk to your lender about that, or hopefully I'm your lender. I'm licensed in 48 states. Happy to help. If you guys need a mortgage or have mortgage questions, please reach out. But when you're walking through those flips, you're a detective. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you guys have any good hacks for finding BS on these types of properties.